Hey everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. This time around I've got a little special hardware. It's the Commodore VIC-20. Yep, this was the precursor to the Commodore 64. Not as powerful, obviously. That's why they came out with a 64. This laid the groundwork for Commodore. So this is an older computer. I've never had one as a kid. Growing up, I did play the 64 a lot and enjoyed it, but I am going to delve deep into the Commodore VIC-20 software and hardware world. So let's take a look at what this is. It is pretty much, it looks like the Commodore 64 if you look at it. It's pretty neat. It's got your standard keyboard. Everything's built right into it hardware wise. You got your controller port right here. You got the on-off switch right there. The power, you plug in your power supply right there, kind of similar to the Commodore 64. There's your that's a huge cartridge port, so that is big. The cartridges were really big on that. I'll show you some here in a minute. You got a audio and video out. It outputs to composite, so that's pretty cool. And you got little expansion ports right here, one of them for the tape drive and other accessories, so we will check that out as well. Pretty neat. Nothing on this side, so that is okay. The bottom, see, this thing is pretty thick. You got your air vents too to kind of keep it cool. Yeah, it's pretty heavy and thick, but we will definitely check that out. I'm excited to get some software for this and try it out. So, all right, here we go. This is the video cable for it, the Commodore video and audio out, so that's how I'm going to hook that up. Very cool indeed. This is the power supply for it. This reminds me of the Atari 5200 power supply, where it's got the cord that goes to the system and then the plug-in right here, but it's got the big power brick right in the middle. That's how the Atari 5200 was set up. Of course, here's the cable that connects everything, connects the drive to the VIC-20. And here is a cassette tape drive. For you older retro gamers, you know what this is. You loaded back in the day. You loaded games on cassette. That was one way to do it, and you just put it in there, fire it up, press play. Your games would load off the cassette tapes. That was pretty interesting. Could store a lot of games on there. I mean, it was pretty good. I want to say it's more cost effective than the chips, definitely. That's why they made one, but slower than molasses, I'll tell you, to load them. You got a joystick here. This is not system specific, I do not believe, not Commodore specific. It's a Wico pad. Love the color scheme on it. It's kind of gray and black, so it kind of fits in well with this. Of course, if you see the plastic, it's a little bit yellow. Older systems tend to yellow because the plastic they used, and you know, have problems with that. Like Super Nintendo was very famous for that. I had a Commodore 128, which was a step up from the 64. It had yellowed pretty bad, but then again, you know, it was previous owner was a smoker, so it really darkened and everything. So this isn't too bad. Right here we got now this thing's heavy, folks. This is the Commodore single drive floppy disk. It's the VIC-1541. I think these and the 64s are essentially the same. They just kind of changed the shell around and everything like that. That's your power button. It's a green power button. That's your access button. Of course, right there, that's where you put your old floppy disks in there. Classic, bringing back memories. You got a fuse on the back there. I've never had to change one or needed to. Of course, your port to connect it to the Commodore VIC-20. On-off switch there. Of course, your power cord. So that's pretty cool. Very straightforward. Like I said, heavy as I don't know what. I tell you, it hurt my arms there just picking it up. Alright, so here are some of my tape games that I've got that I will be trying out. Exciting games like... let me show you some of these. Home Inventory Part 2. Ooh, that's so exciting. I can't wait to pop that in there, do a gameplay of Home Inventory Part 2. Actually, that might actually work from all my games that I've got. Who knows? I might get surprised. That's why I buy this stuff, is just to be surprised and enjoy it along with the rest of you guys. Introduction to BASIC Part 2. That looks interesting. The old BASIC language for the computers. There's a cassette, neat little cassette cartridge holder. Introduction to BASIC. Another Introduction to BASIC Part 2. So I got, looks like I got 2 copies of it. Oh wow, exciting. Personal Finance Part 1. You know, I'll need that after buying all this. Finance Part 1 and Part 2, both sides. So it utilizes both sides. We've got Loan Mortgage Calculator. Well, I already know my mortgage, but hey, I could run it through here anyway and try it out. VIC Typewriter Typing Practice. Now that might be something I'll do a gameplay with you guys. That's going to be exciting. Of course, using computers nowadays, you got to type at least pretty decent. Expense Calendar Part 2. Ooh, wow, amazing. And Part 1 on this side. So hey, we're double duty right here. We've got it, the complete package. Personal Finance Part 4. Oh wow, and Part 3. So we've got a lot of expenses right here. So we will definitely check that out. Here's another good VIC-20 Introduction to BASIC Part 1. Okay, I think I've got Part 2 over here. I think I got another copy too. Another Part 1 Introduction to BASIC. So I guess I'm assuming these two are the same. So I'll just kind of leave that right there. Try them out. You never know. Now we're getting to the games. Here is Slither. I believe, I'm not sure if it's the same Slither that came out for the Coleco or not, but we'll definitely do a gameplay of that. And then on the back side, Super Slither. So that is great. We'll fire that up. Blue Meanies from Outer Space. Yeah, we will definitely check that out. Side 1 and side 2. So yeah, it's double loading. You have to probably flip it over after the first side is done loading. So cool. We will check that out. Some cartridge games that I have. This is the Super Expander, the 3 meg cartridge. I mean, there's higher. I think there's like 16, 32 RAM. But this is a 3K, so certain games that require lots of RAM, we just stick that in there and we got our RAM. It's kind of like the RAM cart for the Sega Saturn. Some games use that, but of course this came out first, so we'll check that out. Let's set that right there. Buck Rogers, Planet of Zoom. This came out for the Atari 2600 and other systems, but I want to see the VIC-20's take on it, so definitely want to do that. Star Trek, that's another game that came out for the 2600. That was, I believe it came out for 2600. I might be thinking of TAC-SCAN by Sega, so we'll check this one out for sure for the VIC-20. Hessmon, I don't know. I might be mispronouncing that. Don't know what that is. We will try it out. Why not? Just because I got it. Some disc games. Of course, these floppies go into the disc drive down there. So, you got your classic ones. So, I got a few of these. We will try them out. Demo discs and everything like that. Brings back so many memories. But, for the most part, I'm going to, let's try that. See, it fits right in there. Look at that. And then that holds it down. And boom, just loads it up. Classic retro stuff. Very awesome. This and more. I'm always definitely expanding, interested in expanding my VIC-20 library. So this won't be the only games that I will check out and try out. I will definitely buy some more along the way and do some gameplay videos of that. But this is kind of like a little introduction of the VIC-20 playlist. Checking that out, and I'm excited. So yeah, there it is, the VIC-20 personal computer system, and I'm excited. Join me for gameplays of the Commodore VIC-20, the friendly computer. Take care, guys.